Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. The moment Luo Feng fought Sector Beast, he would change location without fail. That golden horned beast bodyboarded his vessel and left right away. The team on board Star Tower also followed suit in changing location. Furthermore, there were so many miniature universes within the universe ocean, where to go exactly? At that time, Luo Feng instinctively made a move of intention, and Star Tower made its way right over to rampaging Devil God's miniature universe. My Star Tower team is much stronger golden horned beast. That is where my strongest combat power lies. Luo Feng's fighting spirit was ablaze. Twice I fought it, and twice it escaped. This time around, I will make sure it cannot escape. This confidence was not unfounded, but based on absolute power. Star Tower immediately teleported and headed to the coordinates provided by rampaging Devil God. Sector Beast Morosa stood in the void space, where the surroundings were filled with black fog. Streams of distorted light rays extended right into the void space, and continued to devour the origin of the miniature universe. It was maintaining vigilance, by keeping close tabs on its surroundings. I hope Milky Way Horde Leader, and 9 Remoteness True Master do not appear here. Sector Beast Morosa prayed fervently. I need to become more powerful, much more powerful. Many True God teams were now appearing in Universe Ocean, and all these teams were led by True Gods with super great godly powers. While Sector Beast Morosa was helpless against them, it did not fear them. It only feared Luo Feng and 9 Remoteness. Merely a short moment later, the space around him suddenly froze. Sector Beast Morosa was shocked. Huh? Sector Beast Morosa immediately looked off into the distance. A 9-story tower had appeared out of nowhere. When he saw the tower, he let his guard down. Luckily, it was not the vessel 9 Remoteness True Master and Milky Way Horde Leader traveled about in. But it only took a short moment for Sector Beast Morosa to display a drastic change in expression. No, it said when it was finally capable of reacting. This was Milky Way Horde Leader's supreme true treasure, which was highly reputed throughout Universe Ocean, Star Tower. How could it be you? Sector Beast Morosa roared in fury. One of the doors at the base level of Star Tower opened. Luo Feng, in a suit of black armor, walked out with a blade slung across his back. A tail that was swaying behind him. You're right, it's me again, Luo Feng said. You, Sector Beast, Morosa, looked at Luo Feng. It was fuming. It knew the capabilities of this Milky Way Horde Leader before it. Even if it tried to escape, Milky Way Horde Leader would be able to trap it right away. Then it would be forced to use up a large amount of energy to execute its ultimate technique before it could escape. Sector Beast Morosa yelled, Milky Way Horde Leader. Don't push it. You yourself know, there is no way you can catch me. Don't press your luck. If I really get angry, I will make sure you regret it this time. Regret it? Luo Feng stood in the void space. Everything was within his control at that moment. If he could get some information from Sector Beast Morosa, then it was obvious that Luo Feng would be most willing to listen. How are you going to make me regret it? Luo Feng pressed, purposely challenging the Sector Beast with a tinge of sarcasm. You alone. You are not my match. My human race is a race of the primal universe. We have many true gods that can arrive at any of our race's miniature universes at any time. You stand no chance at all. Sector Beast, Morosa, said in a low voice, true. Alone, I stand no chance, but what if I were to lead a group of Sector Beasts over here? Luo Feng trembled at the thought of it. A group of Sector Beasts. Oh, God. A single sector beast was enough to create chaos in the entire universe ocean. If an entire group showed up, that would be a nightmare. The true gods could also form numerous teams, but if the sector beasts were to follow suit, how would the true gods fight them off? You had better not take my words lightly, Sector Beast Morosa said in a low voice. I do have such an ability. This was the truth. The sector beast was the noblest life form born in universe ocean. After 1 billion sector beasts were born, these billion were destined to devour one another until only one remained alive. The surviving sector beast would be the final king, and also, the final one who truly qualified to represent destruction. The final sector beast who was lucky enough to survive would then qualify to be placed on the same scale as the primal universe. Because it was fated that there could only be one survivor, these sector beasts were all born with the ability to detect one another's presence. Sector Beast Morosa was no exception. After it managed to escape the best, it could sense where the other sector beasts were, so even if it were to get lost within universe ocean, it could rely on its senses to return home. Not only were they able to sense one another, but they were also telepathic and could communicate with one another's souls. And because of this, even if a sector beast intended to avoid fighting, there was no way it could get its way. Within the land of darkness, there were other sector beasts who had detected Sector Beast Morosa's escape. But none of them were concerned. They just had to wait a while longer to devour Morosa. They don't know how delicious the origins of miniature universes are, or how devouring them can help to increase power. If they knew, they would definitely come charging out, Sector Beast Morosa mumbled to itself. However, this is such a precious opportunity, so there is no way I can give it up to them. These origins of miniature universes are all mine. Sector Beast Morosa was unwilling to share its secret. If it were to tell the others, then it would no longer be able to have everything to itself. However, if it was forced into such a dire situation by Luo Feng and Nine remoteness, where not only was it unable to increase its power, but its power might be weakened instead, then it would, in a fit of anger, tell the numerous sector beasts within their nest in the land of darkness everything it knew. Even if the majority of sector beasts were unwilling to leave their nest, it was an innate characteristic of the sector beasts to not usually be keen to leave their nest. Morosa's guess was that there would still be a few who were having a tough time within the nest and would be willing to leave. Luo Feng made a mental note. Then, with a sneer, he said, "Oh. How do you intend to lead those sector beasts? Also, within your sector beast's nest, how many sector beasts are there in all? If the number is small, I won't be daunted." Ha ha ha. If you want to know more information, then you should go look into it for yourself. Go to the nest of the sector beasts. You should not behave like the two cowards previously, who only stayed around the borders. They were so afraid that they fled. Venture deep into our nest of sector beasts if you have the guts. As Sector Beast Morosa spoke, Hong, who was within Star Tower, frowned with closely knitted brows. Cowards. Of the two who had entered the nest, one of them was him, Hong. Since you have nothing else to say, let's battle. Luo Feng wanted to make a move right away. Stop, said Sector Beast Morosa, its expression changing. Every single time they fought, it required a long time to restore its power. It was reluctant to fight Luo Feng any further. But the initiative rested in Luo Feng's hands. Even if it were to divide bodies to make an escape now, Luo Feng would be able to apprehend him. So he responded right away, "Milky Way Horde leader, let's make a deal." A deal? Luo Feng raised a brow. Yes. Sector Beast, Morosa, replied immediately. I can swear an oath that I will absolutely not lay a finger on your human race, and I will not devour the origins of your miniature universes. But you cannot put me in a difficult spot either. How about it? Luo Feng snorted. An oath. Of what use is an oath? I can issue an oath under the law, with the laws of universe ocean as witness whereof, I hereby issue my oath. By the time the law has been passed down, you will also be able to clearly detect it, and then you will come to understand that there is no way I can break an oath. After all, I am also a living soul that was bred from within the universe ocean. I trust you are aware that Shinjo Emperor and Dragon Rock Ancestral God are both on the Sector Beast side. Sector Beast Morosa had long been aware of the fact that the various races of universe ocean had discovered the true identities of those two underlings. The various races of universe ocean had shunned Shinjo Emperor and Dragon Rock Ancestral God for quite some time. Luo Feng nodded. Why did they trust that we, the Sector Beasts, would not kill them? This was all because of oaths. Oaths under the law. Sector Beast said. An oath coming from a single Sector Beast like yourself. How can it possibly represent all the Sector Beasts? Luo Feng shook his head in disbelief. Of course it cannot. For those who decided to seek refuge with the Sector Beasts, other than oaths, there are other ways. In short, the Sector Beasts would absolutely not attack them again. Sector Beast Morosa looked at Luo Feng. If Milky Way Horde leader is willing to come over to us, I can allow you to possess a different kind of power. And in regards to all your Sector Beast crisis, so long as you submit yourself to us, you will be a part of us and will not be affected at all. Luo Feng knew what the Sector Beast was referring to. This so-called different kind of power was the power that Great Thunder Star Master had previously used. It was the power the Sector Beasts possessed. However, Luo Feng was aware of the fact that there was no such thing as a free lunch. Even legends of the ancient civilization had records of numerous powerful nations that had been destroyed, but had never sought refuge with the Sector Beasts. From this alone, he could deduce that seeking refuge with the Sector Beasts might lead to another situation. He might even become a slave with no power of resistance at all. Stop your nonsense. Luo Feng ordered coldly. It's also all right if you do not want to come over, Sector Beast Morosa continued to say. How about me not being an enemy of your human race? Wouldn't that be good? Even if we can hide from you, we cannot avoid the other Sector Beasts from your Sector Beast nest, Luo Feng continued in his cold tone. Are you able to get all the other Sector Beasts to swear upon the same oath, to never make any advances on my human race? Sector Beast Morosa was taken aback. How was that possible? Like the powerful Betty, who could get much more powerful by devouring other Sector Beasts, how was it possible to let the entire human race off the hook? In that case, be prepared to meet your doom. Luo Feng shouted. But Luo Feng did not react immediately. He wanted to see if there was any other way to force the Sector Beast Morosa into giving him more important information. Loathsome Milky Way Horde leader. You are always forcing me into corners. I will absolutely not spare you, absolutely not. Sector Beast Morosa finally let go of all restraints and went wild. It no longer had the patience to negotiate with Luo Feng. With a loud howl, many diagrams of engravings appeared on its body. Enshrouded by 99 diagrams of secret engravings, its body immediately exploded with a loud crash, and was divided into 99 parts. Then it started to flee. Luo Feng looked on from afar, sneering. Inside Star Tower, which was not far away, his remote ocean body had 10 silver wings widely spread behind it as its godly power executed the third volume of Duanmia, Annihilation. It was also burning up its godly body to the ultimate limit, and making use of Shawu wings to activate this technique. In the vast void of space, a white fog began to fill up an area of several light years. This area of void space had long been isolated from the outside world, and an infinitely powerful restraining force enveloped this part of the void space. At that moment, the restraining force far surpassed the force of Snowy World, causing the 99 escaping parts, divided from Morosa's original body, to slow down. Although its speed was being reduced, it was still flying. Still able to fly. Mosha Luofeng, in his Wuchi god armor, looked on from afar and shook his head. He could not be bothered to use a method similar to Universe Chain. He had something more powerful. Star Tower. Luofeng made a move in mind. From afar, Star Tower suddenly released an incomparably violent outburst of energy, which instantly enshrouded an area of several light years. The entire area was enveloped. The 9 entrances at the base of Star Tower were like 9 bottomless whirlpools, crazily devouring everything. A bout of bizarre devouring force was produced at each entrance. And when the 9 different forces combined into one point, an area of a couple of light years was selected by this bizarre, aggressive whirlpool. It was even stronger than that of single thought void space. Originally, it was already very difficult for the 99 divided bodies to accelerate and fly out, yet upon falling into the endless Star Tower whirlpool world, it started to reduce speed rapidly. Suddenly, rather advancing, it actually started to fly backward. Luofeng looked at the 99 bodies that flew back, and he couldn't help smiling. He was able to create techniques at level 8 now, and he could utilize the 7th level of Star Tower. The 6th level of engravings of Star Tower was top tier level 8, and the 7th level engravings were level 9. Once it was performed, it would create a terrifying, whirlpool world, much stronger than single thought void space, or Shawu Wing. It was not that Shawu Wing couldn't rival Star Tower. The center of Shawu Wing contained the energies of the former master, so Luofeng didn't want to use those energies. He couldn't fully utilize the maximum power of Shawu Wing. When he used the origin to drive Shawu Wing, the power could be maximized, and then, single thought void space, would be much stronger than Whirlpool World. Currently, the 7th level of Star Tower, Whirlpool World, was definitely the supreme domain type technique. 9 different kinds of energies had already torn the space apart, forming a terrific Whirlpool World. How so? How did he become so powerful? When I fought him the last time, he wasn't powerful like this. Although that Milky Way Horde leader Luofeng has several bodies, the power of each should be equal. The 99 bodies of Morosa couldn't resist it at all, and they couldn't help flying toward Star Tower. Star Tower was the center of the dark whirlpool world. The 9 tower doors were stirring everything. Close. The sector beast gave up, and all of a sudden, all the other 99 bodies became hollow. One of them immediately bulged, turning into a sector beast. Sector beast Morosa was trying to resist it. It could barely keep balance without being swallowed. When it separated its body, each of the resulting bodies was weak, so they were easily swallowed. When all 99 were combined into one, it could barely stand still. What should I do? What should I do? Sector beast Morosa was anxious. How was it supposed to run away without disintegrating its bodies? Luofeng could catch it easily and make sure it would never get away. Besides, under the combination of single thought void space and whirlpool world, it could barely stand straight and was destined to fly slowly. Luofeng had created all of this, so he could easily catch up with it. Luofeng, clad in black armor, walked toward the sector beast. He seemed to be walking casually, but he was so fast that the sector beast was jealous. Luofeng was tens of thousands of times faster than it was while under the combined effects of single thought void space and whirlpool world. Milky Way Horde leader, sector beast Morosa clenched its teeth and glared at Luofeng. No wonder you're the strongest great being in Universe Ocean. I've underestimated you. Come again. Try your luck. Luofeng said coldly as he walked toward him. You can concentrate the bloody light into your eyes, right? That move is impressive. Why don't you perform it now? The Sector Beast was furious. He used that move as a trump card. Even if it could temporarily suppress Luo Feng, it would do him no good, as it still couldn't get him out of this world. Milky Way Horde leader, you know that I'll call a large group of Sector Beasts here if you leave me no choice, Sector Beast Morosa said, glaring at Luo Feng. Don't push me. Let me go. And I swear that I will never target humans in the future. If you let me go, I'll make a vow to the rules of Universe Ocean. This is my only request. Let me go now. You can never attack me in the future, but let me go now. Let you go. I finally caught you, and you think I'll just let you go? Luo Feng was smirking on the surface, but thoughts flooded his mind. There was a large group of Sector Beasts in the nest. There was only one Sector Beast in front of him. It was indeed important to kill this particular Sector Beast. To all the races in Universe Ocean, one living Sector Beast was a disaster. You said you're going to lead a large group of Sector Beasts here, but you're trapped here now. How are you going to do that? Luo Feng sneered. You don't understand us at all, said Sector Beast Morosa. Only one Sector Beast will survive in the end, and he will be the king. If one Sector Beast runs away, and gets lost in Universe Ocean, other Sector Beasts can't kill him. In such an event, there will be 2 or more Sector Beasts that survive. Then the king will never be born. Luo Feng nodded. Sector Beasts can sense each other, and we can communicate with our minds, said Morosa. No matter how far we are from each other. That was the truth. After some time, all the Sector Beasts had to return to the nest and kill each other until the final king was born. Sector Beast Morosa said, So you can't kill me. If you kill me, I'll send the message to the Sector Beast nest, and there'll be a large group of Sector Beasts coming this way. Oh? Luo Feng answered. You agree? Sector Beast Morosa was anxious. This Luo Feng was terrifying. If he didn't kill it, it would be great. Even if it made a promise to the rules of Universe Ocean, it only meant that it wasn't going to kill Luo Feng. Other Sector Beasts would still try to kill Luo Feng. It knew that the fewer Sector Beasts there were, the more powerful the remaining Sector Beasts would become. This Luo Feng was indeed powerful, but he wouldn't be able to resist the Sector Beasts in the future. Agree? Luo Feng shook his head. I can't kill you because you threaten me. Does that mean I can't kill other Sector Beasts if they also threaten me? Ha ha. I can kill you and other Sector Beasts. I'll kill as many as I can if they come. Once you're trapped in the area I control, no matter whether there is 1 Sector Beast or 10, they won't be able to escape it. Thank you for letting me know that Sector Beasts can send messages through their minds. As soon as Luo Feng finished talking, his force suddenly surged, and he burned his godly power to the largest extent. A blurry phantom showed up in the whirlpool world, and it charged at Sector Beast Morosa. Sector Beast Morosa was furious. You'll regret this, it bellowed. Regret? Luo Feng smirked. Luo Feng, clad in black armor, had already driven the powerful machine-type valuable Wu Qi god. Now he took out the Blood Shadow Blade on his back. Blood Shadow Blade was an embryo, and the attack could be greatly improved by being performed through the blade. Besides, Wu Qi god itself was far superior to other machine-type valuables. When the two were combined, Luo Feng's power surged. Golden Light Ocean. Luo Feng performed the technique, and Sector Beast Morosa, moving very slowly under the combination of single thought void space and whirlpool world, couldn't dodge it at all. The blade's light shone under Luo Feng, and there were golden waves around him. The waves tumbled, striking Sector Beast Morosa relentlessly. Sector Beast Morosa, who was trying to resist, roared, Why? Why are you so much more powerful than last time? The golden waves weren't actually waves. They were waves made up of blade light, and Luo Feng's blade contained gold lore. However, the blade technique was as soft as the caress of a lover. Those golden waves looked soft as they kept patting the sector beast. However, they were endless. This was one of the supreme techniques created by Luo Feng, Golden Light Ocean. The waves kept eroding the sector beast, making it weaker. Sector beast Morosa yelled in pain. It couldn't believe what was happening, as Luo Feng was far stronger than last time. Strong, said Luo Feng. You're saying I'm strong? Then it's your glory to die by the hands of a great being. Luo Feng had no mercy. The blade light was unrelenting and kept consuming the sector beast's power. When it was difficult to fight the sector beast directly, one could choose to mutually consume godly power. However, when one was at an absolute advantage, it would only need to lose a small portion of energy to consume a great deal of the sector beast's power. Howl! The sector beast Morosa roared, and the golden body immediately changed into that black, ugly figure. Both of its eyes stared at Luo Feng. You'll regret this. Sector beast Morosa was roaring. All of a sudden, a trace of gleaming black light showed up all over its body. The black light turned red, so bloody that it intimidated all who saw it. The bloody light covered Sector beast Morosa. Howl! Sector beast Morosa roared. Long arms extended from its body. There were over 100 arms, and they were resisting the blade attacks from Luo Feng. The bloody light obviously boosted the overall strength. It was almost as powerful as Luo Feng. The attack from Luo Feng made the sector beast's body sink, but it never actually slashed Morosa. You've indeed used all your power. Then make another move. Luo Feng yelled. Golden Horn of Beasts. All the golden waves disappeared, and the surroundings turned back to the dark whirlpool world again. Inside, a blurry golden horn appeared. It looked as if this giant golden horn could pierce through the entire universe. There was endless power in it, and it stabbed toward Sector Beast Morosa. It was a miracle for universe masters to create techniques at level 8. However, Luo Feng had created more than one. Golden Light Ocean was weaker, but it was long-lasting. As for Golden Horn of Beasts, it was only a single attack, so every time it was performed, Luo Feng needed to store enough power. Of course, it was a powerful move. However, the enemies could totally get away when Luo Feng was preparing the power. Fortunately, Luo Feng had single thought void space and whirlpool world so that the sector beast couldn't get away. The giant golden horn pierced through everything. Under level 3 godly power burning, Wuqi God, Blood Shadow Blade, and the supreme technique Luo Feng performed, the skin of sector beast was pierced through. The black blood of the sector beast flowed in the whirlpool world. The 9 levels of whirlpool power combined with each other, and they started to swallow everything. The black blood from the blade light immediately became curves under the strength from the waves. It was immediately swallowed by one of the tower doors of Star Tower. After all, even Sector Beast Morosa itself could barely stand straight, so its blood couldn't just run away. Blood of Sector Beasts. Luo Feng rejoiced in his heart. I've studied the life structures, so I need the blood and skins of great beings. I've obtained lots of blood and skins from the world of Jinn, and they are of great help. However, I keep being stuck at 89,999 times, and I just can't surpass this final step. I hope that the blood of sector beasts can help. Luo Feng was looking forward to it, but then he put all those thoughts behind him. Studying blood and understanding life structures were the worries in the future, but now, the most important thing was to kill the sector beast. There was a hole in the broken chest of sector beast Morosa. Black blood dripped, but the wound immediately recovered. Sector Beast Morosa stared at Luo Feng in the distance and roared, "Ever since I've entered level 3, other than Beidi, no one has been able to make me bleed. No one. Despicable creature from Universe Ocean, you've really crossed me. Other than Beidi, I want you dead more than anyone else. I will kill you. Kill you." Thoughts flooded Luo Feng's mind. Entered level 3. There were different levels of sector beasts. Beidi. There wasn't a true god called Beidi in Universe Ocean. Was that Beidi also a sector beast? Luo Feng's mind could work quickly, and tens of millions of thoughts flooded his mind at the same time, but it was actually close to the actual fact. Despicable creature from Universe Ocean. Aren't you a life form from Universe Ocean? Luo Feng sneered and rushed at Sector Beast again. You want me dead? Then I'll kill you now. Luo Feng moved so quickly that it was as if he'd disappeared. Golden waves showed up around him, enveloping Sector Beast Morosa, who couldn't even manage to dodge it. The endless blade waves kept tumbling, madly consuming the strength of that Sector Beast, making the Sector Beast weaker and weaker. No. Stop it, Milky Way Horde leader. Sector Beast Morosa suddenly yelled. Why should I stop? The voice of Sector Beast Morosa came out from the golden waves ocean around it. He kept yelling, don't push me. I'll tell you again. Don't push me. If you keep pushing me, there's no way to mitigate the relationship between us. We'll literally fight to the death. We're already fighting to the death. A voice came from the golden waves, and the endless blade waves were still weakening the power of Sector Beast Morosa, who had already lost half of its power since the beginning of this fight. Okay. Human. Both the soul eyes on Sector Beast Morosa's heads looked desperate, and it yelled, it's you. You took away my chance to become the king forever. It's because of you. You? Luo Feng, who kept making attacks, felt something wrong. Burn. The Sector Beast Morosa yelled in agony. How painful it was. It was angrier than a warrior having his arms cut off. Black tears welled up out of both the singular eyes on the two heads of Sector Beast Morosa. It looked ferocious, mad, upset. Suddenly, an explosive sound came from the body of the Sector Beast Morosa, and an invisible strength rushed out of its body, blasting Luo Feng away. At the same time, gleaming, colorful light rushed out of Sector Beast Morosa's body. The colorful light was dazzling. It contained all the beautiful colors Luo Feng had ever seen, millions of times more amazing than a rainbow. Gleaming, colorful light rushed out of the body of Sector Beast Morosa. What? Luo Feng felt intimidated. The power from the rainbow wasn't strong. However, Luo Feng could clearly feel that the control over the void space under his technique, single thought void space, was weakened, and to be exact, another willpower was fighting for the controlling right of this void space. Single thought void space was true control, and it wasn't bestowed by the original mind. Absolute control. Under his complete control, teleportation, transportation, and the other skills were all banned. If someone wanted to fight with him for the right of control, and that person needed to know single thought void space, then those with better skills would be able to control space. Or if someone became an eternal true god, and a universe could be formed with only one thought, then it was definitely easier to get the control right. However, the colorful light coming out of the Sector Beast's body was trying to seize the right of control over the space. It was gleaming, breathtaking. It was as if it were the most beautiful color in the entire universe. The streaks of light formed a magical portal, and the colorful portals were trembling. Apparently, under the suppression from single thought void space, it seemed like it was going to crumble at any time. The colorful portal couldn't pierce through the area of single thought void space. Burn again. Sector Beast Morosa yelled painfully. Human, you're going to regret this. I've spent an eternity reaching level 3, yet you pushed me back to level 1. I'll avenge myself, I will avenge myself. I'll make you regret this. Dense, colorful light rushed out of its body again, merging with the colorful light portal. This was control over time. Luo Feng's whirlpool world couldn't do anything about it, so only single thought void space was able to suppress it. At this moment, Sector Beast Morosa was so weak, and its force was negligible. Luo Feng even felt that he could literally kill the Sector Beast Morosa with one move. However, the gleaming, colorful light was covering Sector Beast Morosa, but he couldn't make attacks and break the colorful portal, so he could only use one thought void space to suppress it. Break. Luo Feng kept the suppression from single mind void space, and at the same time, he was also attacking those colorful light portals. The portal was trembling as if it would crumble at any time. Sector Beast Morosa turned into a stream of light, and suddenly disappeared through the colorful portal. Just as it disappeared, the colorful light portals disintegrated completely. Then they turned into nothing. There weren't battle ripples in the space anymore, and only Whirlpool World and single thought void space could maintain it. Luo Feng stood in space, finding it hard to believe. The Sector Beast still managed to run away, even while he was at an absolute advantage. Take it back. Luo Feng waved his hands, and all of a sudden, both Whirlpool World and one thought void space disappeared. I've failed. I've failed again. Luo Feng shook his head. He used his best power this time for the fight. Besides, great beings like Divine, I True Master, and Primal Chaos City Leader all knew that it was the Star Tower team, so perhaps many true gods in Universe Ocean looked forward to the result. The failure last time was already a huge blow to Universe Ocean. The failure this time was definitely a nightmare for Universe Ocean. Under Space Seal and one thought void space, how did it use a technique like wormholes and teleportation to leave instantly? Luo Feng was confused. Although it looks like a wormhole, it was more like a universe portal. Both God Country transportation and space transportation could transport someone from one spot to another instantly. Only universe portals were like portals. That colorful light was a portal. Besides, after repeated fights with the Sector Beast, I've injured it twice, and 9 remoteness also injured it greatly. However, it was able to recover so soon, Luo Feng thought. It was put in an impasse. Half of its energy was consumed, and it had used its endless bloody light for a long time. It seems it didn't want to use the last step, colorful light portal. Besides, it kept threatening me. It wanted to negotiate or threaten me, but it just didn't want to use that move. Luo Feng could tell that Sector Beast Morosa was in agony when it was performing that colorful light portal, and he could tell the madness and craziness and desperation from the yelling. It also said that it was going back to level 1 from level 3. Luo Feng was thinking. Level 3. From level 3, nobody had been able to make it bleed other than Bei Di. That must have meant that Sector Beast Morosa had already entered level 3 while in the nest of Sector Beasts. Although it had swallowed many origins of miniature universes in Universe Ocean, it was still at level 3. Level 3. Luo Feng thought. It might have fought and eaten other Sector Beasts in the nest to improve its power. Does that mean only by eating Sector Beasts, he can improve his power to level 3? Is that a fundamental change? It said that it was going back to level 1 from level 3. That must be the price it has to pay to perform that colorful light portal. Luo Feng understood now. Level 3 meant the extent to which Sector Beasts had grown. And to grow like that, Sector Beasts needed to swallow other Sector Beasts to grow, as they were the core energies of Sector Beasts. As for other powers during the fight, it could recover over time even if it was greatly consumed. However, the core strength couldn't be recovered. Otherwise, Sector Beast Morosa wouldn't have gone mad. An ugly Sector Beast showed up in the chaos airspace in the distance. Sector Beast Morosa wasn't as confident as before anymore. It was weak, sad, and desperate. When 1 trillion Sector Beasts were born, everyone was only at level 1. I am only one of them. I've been trying and struggling, and eating other Sector Beasts. I've eaten all the other powerful Sector Beasts, and entered level 2, and entered level 3. Even Bay D is only at level 3. If I can swallow enough origins of miniature universes, and reach the pinnacle level at level 3, I'll be able to become the ultimate king. However, I've returned to the status of a newborn. Sector Beast Morosa thought that coming to Universe Ocean would be a great opportunity to him, yet it was a disaster. This video will end here.